What is going on, you guys? No0b3 here. Today I'm going to be talking about entitled survivors in Dead by Daylight, and funnily enough I did manage to unfortunately run into some entitled survivors. This was during the MMR test, bear in mind, so matches were a little bit more skewed. I do want to say that this was not super fun to run into, and I do want to put out a disclaimer: there is no hate towards anyone realistically, but I do not think that this behavior is very nice or very acceptable, and I do just want to show my perspective and show you what was happening in my games.
Can we just like skip this round? The one time I wanna die.
One time my butt. You know how many times you legit kill yourself on hook just because you don't want to do the match?
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, it's not, but yeah.
But
She came
no,
over
I
to
mean,
me.
it's fair that you say that.
I just hit an Ariana Grande note, bitch.
My chin. Yeah, I give up. I'm done. I'm done! I'm killing myself on hook. I ain't doing this shit. You can tell they're really, really good.
So this was the first day that I actually ran into this Swift, and it was actually on Backwaters, which is not a great map for Nurse, but it's alright. But as you can see in the clip here, I actually find the young Jin Lee, and I actively decide not to hit her because she had just been on hook. I was looking for the player that did the action or potentially is looking to heal here, and it was really difficult for me to not hit her realistically, but I did feel really bad and I didn't really want to tunnel someone out of the game. As you can see that I'm going to actually hit the player on the generator instead, who is a little bit unaware, which is absolutely fine. But I do want to say that I do not choose to be in these matches. The game was pretty much over after the first chase, which is really sad and unfortunate. I really don't like how the game put us together, because it was quite clear that these players were not on similar experience level as myself. I have 3,000 hours into Nurse, and I feel really bad when I come across survivors like this. So realistically, I did try to farm with these players. I farmed for more time than actually playing the game, but as you can see, they kind of make some very silly mistakes. The young Jin Lee comes back for the save for whatever reason. Realistically, she should have just ran, split up, done some healing. But by this point, they'd already given up in the game, and I really kind of wanted to be friends with these guys. I really did, but it was really difficult to, considering the second day. And I will be speeding up this clip or this footage to show you that I was farming, and I did give hatch to someone in this game as well. So we come on to day 2, and this is the second day that I run into them on Almond, and I chose this map offering because I thought that this map is a fairly fair map for survivors. I enjoy playing this map. I normally do okay, sometimes I don't do amazingly well, but you're gonna see me in my POV in this match where I do get called a tunneler and a camper. Realistically, I want to say this, that they did not play very well in terms of the chases that I had. As you can see, the David here does not look back at all, and I want to be showing you what I do directly off hook, so there will be a little bit of editing here and there, and you will also see the survivor cam here right at the start showing you exactly what they were all doing at the start of the game. I will put it up every now and then, but you can see that I am playing basically off my procs. I am not camping here. I commit to every single chase that I get into. I do not drop chase for no reason to come back to a hook or a generator at all. No one is tunneled out of this game realistically, because everyone had been hooked a multitude of times before anyone was actually put out of the game. As you can see, this Claudette is just running in a straight line and not looking behind them. You can see here as well, I freeze frame because there is actually infectious fright proc behind me, and the Kate Denson actually runs ahead of me. I could have easily slugged for the 4K here, but I didn't, because I feel like that is not a very nice thing to do. So as you can see, I do come back here because I assume that all 3 players are back here, but it's not the case. case, I believe that David came back here to go for the unhook, and the Kate went for the unhook on the Claudette. And you're gonna see me get into another chase here with this David. Now this David did have a about 20-second chase, which is the longest chase in this match, point blank. Every other chase lasted around 5 to 10 seconds here, and you can see me going deliberately across the map, and you're gonna see me do again where I go specifically for the Kate because the Kate had not been on hook. I could have easily gone straight for the Claudette, but this maybe wouldn't have been considered nice. But I want to make sure at the start of the game that I at least get a hook on at least everyone before I start actually putting people on second hook. So as you can see, as this game goes on, I am going to talk about the previous game, which was on the backwaters here. The backwater game, they gave up within the first minute of that match starting. One of them had given up before they even got into a chase, which I think is just a really bad attitude to have in the game. As you can see, they're kind of just throwing their bodies at me, and they also did the same thing in the backwater game as well. And I actively, deliberately don't go after people that had just been unhooked. Obviously here the Kate was in the basement and the David did the unhooking, but realistically the Claudette should be the one doing the safe hook because they are healthy and they weren't just on hook. So this is the one mistake that you could consider a possibility, but it is a legitimate mistake that I make. Majority of the times I'm not deliberately hitting people off hook. I come back here and I actually find that David and the Kate are healing up underneath the hook. Now I logistically think that the Kate was the person that had just been on hook because they were injured, and the David, the healthy player, was the person who did the unhooking action. But this was not the case. It was actually the David that was on the hook. But at this point in time, multiple people have been hooked and basically 2 players are on death hook. This would have had no bearing in the game, and also this is midway through the game, so I feel like this is at this point fair game, and also just a mistake that I make personally. So I do also want to talk about something that happened privately outside of this game. I did actually reach out to the streamer and actually talk about the attitude that they had in the matches that I had, and said that I just didn't feel very nice or happy about the fact that they accused me of tunneling and camping. And they went back, and this was the response that I got. As you can see, there is very little responsibility of how they played. In the match, they do mention that the only way that they could possibly get low blood points as a team is if they were tunneled and camped. I do want to mention that as soon as I realized that these guys had given up as well, I also farm with them and give them hatch just like the other day. In the other match though, I farmed for double the amount of time I actually played the game. I really don't feel happy with this resolution, unfortunately, and I really wish that the comments at the end of the match and even privately were a little bit nicer and at least took some responsibility. I took responsibility for accidentally quote-unquote tunneling someone, but it was so late into the game and a very easy mistake to make that I don't think that you could hold that over as a severe malicious intention to tunnel someone out of the game. But nonetheless, I do want to say that this attitude is really just not that nice at all and really should not be accepted in any community. I think if you are struggling in matches, I think that you should actively go out your way to try to get better. There are many guide videos out there. I have some on my channel as well. And even if you don't take the game seriously, then at least you're going to have better quality matches if you are going to try to get better. If not, then I don't think it really matters. But then don't be mean to players when they are a better skill level than you or a higher skill level than you. I did not choose to be in this match. This was during the MMR tests, so I really am upset with how they treated me or how they treated the game. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this video. As you can tell, I am not tunneling, I am not camping in this game. I think this was absolutely ridiculous. But make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed, hit that sub button, check out my socials, and go and check if I'm live on Twitch. Link will be in the descriptions to all my socials, and I will catch you guys next time.